This is a public service announcement calling all community members connected to the Nelson's Dockyard National Park to discuss the implementation of climate resilience, a project and ecosystem restoration and sustainable livelihoods in that area. And I'm here joined with Ruleta. Seems like it's so she can correct me. Ruleta Camacho-Thomas. She's the environmental specialist and natural resources management at the National Parks Authority. And I have my beautiful friend who's here with us. She's here with us. And
Nicola Bird.
Yeah. I know. Nicola Bird. Larry, are you related?
No.
Okay,
no.
okay, let's check it. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. So tell us about this plan consultation. Nick,
We'll start with the project. So Nicola will start.
okay, well, let's start with Nicola with this one then.
Okay. Okay, so the project is funded by the Caribbean Biodiversity Fund, led by WCMC, and Integrated Health Outreach is in partnership with National Parks Authority to implement the project that is focused on increasing climate resilience, not just for improving climate for the infrastructure of the national parks, such as coral reefs and mangrove restoration, but also for community resilience building through sustainable livelihoods.
All right. And Mrs. Thomas?
Yes. Right.
Let's talk about
So, I'm
yes.
going to start with the National Parks Authority. So the National Parks Authority manages the Nelson's Dockyard National Park. The Nelson's Dockyard National Park basically runs from Carlisle Bay up to Signal Hill, across Fort George, Monks Hill, right over to Memorial Bay, coming back out across the sea, going back right down to Carlisle Bay. So we are 15 hectares of protected area. We're about half and half marine and land.
Okay.
We are mixed use category 6 IUCN protected area. What that means is traditionally when we think of conservation and protected areas, we think it's just conservation with no activities. For our park, it's a little bit different. We have a mixed use park, and so that allows us to demonstrate how you manage the activities of human beings sustainably alongside the management of your natural resources. Now, we all know, I think you can feel the temperature outside,
Ooh.
right? So the biggest threat now to our sustainable development is really climate change. And for us, our ecosystems in the parks provide goods and services that allow us to have our socioeconomic lives, so our sociocultural lives, so our society, our communities, our cultural activities, as well as our economic activities depend heavily on our natural resources. One of the things that we are noticing is that the natural resources and those economic sectors, cultural sectors, and our society are vulnerable to climate change. And as to be able to document exactly where these vulnerabilities lie, more discreetly, we are holding a consultation as part of this project to hear from community members who may be impacted by climate change in ways that we have not yet documented. So the point of the consultation is we will present what we have seen in terms of the natural environment, what we have recorded, but we are calling our stakeholders and community members to come out and also tell us what you are feeling. This will help to document it and to help to inform management actions, also to feed up to the wider donor community in terms of what interventions would be necessary to assist, particularly in livelihoods. We are heavily dependent on the yachting sector, but that is very seasonal, and we also recognize that there's some subsistence livelihoods activities like farming and fishing, our traditional activities that happen in the off season that help to supplement our lives. And one of the things that we want to ensure is that the quality of our lifestyle can continue. And so it's very important for our community members to come and communicate to us what exactly you're feeling. Perhaps you don't think it's climate change, perhaps it's some change that you notice. That would be great. And also for persons to give us ideas in terms of what they would like to see as a part of our livelihoods interventions to help with sustainable community actions in the face of climate change.
So I realize that this consultation is to fine-tune things and get work done.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it is. Because then you might not know everything within the community. Somebody might know something else that you like, oh, I didn't realize that, but I'm realizing it, and this is why I want y'all to come out and tell us these things.
We, in Antigua and Barbuda, we do not have robust ecosystem, regular data collection, and a lot of our information is held within our communities. So a lot of changes, especially historical changes, may be held in a community member or somebody telling a story. For example, a few weeks ago, a community member told me there was a beach there when he was a child. There's no beach anymore. So those kinds of experiences and activities and how that has changed your life and what types of livelihood activities you're involved in, what types you would like to be involved with, and to help us to shape and to understand the risks that climate impacts pose to those, especially our cultural and our traditional activities. So our vendors, our seed makers, our craft persons, our fishermen, our farmers, we really need to understand the underground, discrete impacts that climate change is happening. Yes, we know about the heat, the temperature rise, all of that, but there may be some unexpected impacts. The other thing is to alert the community of some of the changes that have happened. The slow onset changes, those are dangerous. It's, you know, the story of the frog in the pot of hot water. You know that story, right? You don't feel it until you talk about it. You need to talk about it to recognize. And one of the things that we have noted is that these localized impacts may have detrimental effects on the way we live life, but because we don't document them, they're not recognized internationally. So one of the things that we would like to do better is to document our actual climate change impacts on the local level. And when I say local level, we are talking about within the national park, within the St. Paul's area, really. So that is the importance. We do have some activities that we have planned for this project. We know that our seagrass beds, our coral reefs, and our mangrove systems are our critical, and our beaches as well, and our rocky shorelines. But I think the ones that we're focusing on in this project is our seagrass beds, our coral reefs, and our mangrove ecosystems. They provide a natural protection system and a natural resilience building system to people and community. And the next stage in this project is where we are going to be bringing in specialists to help to determine what exactly the status of our systems are, what the risk factors are, and what actions we need to take to enhance their resilience, because these natural ecosystems are helping us to buffer the impacts of climate change.
When is this consultation?
The consultation is tomorrow evening. It's going to be at the Copper and Lumber, the Long Hall at Copper and Lumber.
Okay.
And you'll have presentations on what the project is, what the climate change risks that are likely to affect the area are, what we know already, so we'll give you a presentation on that, and then there will be some breakout groups and discussions and maps, and you know how we do it, right?
Yeah.
You have to put on the map where you are, where you're seeing the impacts. We are very cognizant that even in a small area, that impacts can be very different. We have a very undulating coastline, and we have ecosystems that provide protection. So like our shoals provide protection. So you on this side who are not protected by a shoal may have a particular impact on somebody on the other side.
Yeah, that's true.
And also to help to underscore the value of the natural resources in enhancing life, livelihoods, and economic development.
And what happens after the consultation from your side of things, Ms. Bird?
Thank you. So we will be working, once we get these consultations and assess the data and get the feedback from the community, we're looking at alternative livelihoods, more sustainable livelihoods, so that support the environment. And also, again, because of climate change and the impending consequences that we are facing, we do need to look for sustainable and alternative livelihoods. So the goal will be, once we have these community assessments, get the feedback, we then will develop a market assessment of what's available in terms of potentialities for alternative livelihoods. And then we will support, based on these findings, some training in the communities in terms of livelihoods, but under the umbrella of sustainability.
I love the sound of that. So the consultation is tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow evening at the Copper and Lumber, starting at 6 o'clock.
And we're calling on everybody within the community connected to Nelson's Dockyard Park to discuss the implementation of a climate resilience project aimed at the ecosystem restoration and sustainable livelihoods. We want to hear from you, everybody, look. And I know a lot of stories out there to tell, so it's not just about when the beach was used to be here and all that. There are lots of other things, especially in that area, we need to hear, we need to understand. Even when you see the seaweeds come up on the side, it's so weird. How come all of a sudden this stuff happened? Especially in this area, we need to hear your stories, and that's why they're here this morning. So 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Under that.
Yes, under that.
You
come before 6.
And just tell us your story.
Yes.
And we'll listen and we'll fine-tune things and work on things for the future, because the climate is really changing. The place are getting hot.
It is.
Mercy. Imagine when you're washing in the night, I want it to warm. What can go on so?
You know, luckily, see, we have the beaches, to cool down in still.
Lovely.
But the water is getting hot.
And it's kind of warm too.
It's very warm. As a matter of fact, we recorded significantly high temperatures. That is one of the risks. So those are some of the issues that we have to discuss. What will be the impacts of climate change on the natural environment to your existing life and livelihood? The water is hot now.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, come and hear.
Yes, and all the folks will tell you their time was better than our time, but you know that good. That's why we want to hear these stories. Ladies, thank you all for being here this morning. Wishing you nothing but the best on this, and have a relationship with the national park.
Yes.
You shall see me soon again. That's all I'm saying. I see things happening. I see things growing. All right. Sponsor, we've got work coming up. Remember, it's our 59th anniversary, so we're celebrating. We're getting ready to celebrate the Diamond Experience next year. So excellence and all that go. So you're here with the journey this time with us. So next year when we have our big celebration, shebang, and all that,
be great.
You'll be here.
Yes.
All right. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.